So in this build, I think we've kind of fallen into a habit of focusing on how we're gonna build things out, and we want to kind of take some time this week to recenter and remind ourselves why we've decided to do this. We're planning on taking a hike this week, and we want to take you guys with us.
The mountains aren't going to wait for you. You got to go see them. So we're going to go. We're going to do our traveling now. When we can, obviously, the build still takes priority number one. But we'll be adding a little bit more of that to our videos, and we just want to kind of share more of the traveling aspect. All right, we're out hiking in North Carolina, and we have a new face with us today. This is my brother, Brian.
Hello.
So he's introducing us to a couple trails around here. How many hikes would you say you've done around here?
Probably my third or fourth here.
Okay.
Not often, but often enough. Like I've been around, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's something he started with his friends. So he decided to invite us along for this weekend. So that's what we're doing. We're almost to the overlook. So that'll be really fun to see. A lot of trees, so you can't see much, but we did see a pretty neat waterfall.
So while we've been kind of recentering this week, we want to revisit some of the reasons we decided to start this build and to quit our jobs, move away from the city.
Basically restarting our lives and trying to create them again on the road.
A huge reason for us that you've probably already seen if you've been following our videos is just the tremendous sense of accomplishment for being able to take on this build, and down the road being able to take care of it going forward and just have something that we own, that we really take responsibility for and take pride in. And that's just something that's been huge for us.
We've gotten a few questions before. Why choose a bus over an already created RV? And honestly, a big answer to that is because it's something we can make. We can, put our own work into it and labor it. And at the end of the day, we have something that we can call home that we've created. And although we're not quite there yet, we'd like to be one day. And I think that's kind of what we're looking for in this journey. All right, Natalie, what are you doing?
This is Patreon only content. I just gotta switch out my socks because
I did have them.
I get really sweaty. Another big reason we wanted to move into the bus is to allow us to experience more of the world and to travel. That's something that we have always loved to do. And before we bought the bus, we just weren't really making time for it. And obviously with COVID, that has been a little bit out of our hands.
Yeah,
but
no one's making time for it now.
Yeah. I think going forward, we want to be able to travel more. After we graduated college, we took a month-long backpacking trip around Europe, and that was so eye-opening and so formative to my experience and Jimmy's as well. Just growing into people, that was so meaningful.
It was such a great experience, but it was so long ago at this point, and it's something that we really missed and we really want to get back into.
We want to make it more of our normal life to experience the world more. And that doesn't necessarily mean go to Europe or travel internationally. There's a lot of the US that we haven't seen. I know probably our biggest bucket list item is, Jimmy knows what I'm about to say.
Yeah, it's Banff National Park.
Yeah, in Alberta, Canada.
Yeah, it's been my wallpaper for the past 2+ years now. It just looks so beautiful. It just looks like such a great place to end up one spring or fall or whenever the best time is to show up. Yeah, that's our bucket list. That's where we want to end up one day.
Definitely. And I know there are a lot of places like it that we just don't know about. And so we just can't wait to experience that and see more of the world.
There's Brian. And there's Natalie. The whole squad. Back at it again. How's it look?
Very cute. Gosh. Another thing that's really important to us that I think we just need to recenter on is making sure that we give ourselves the space to be the people we want to be. I think there's a lot of room for personal growth and development, and we haven't always made time for that. We have a few like personal development goals around, there's health and fitness, which are super important, mental health and physical health. There's also just, I would like to be more patient. I would like to be a kinder person. And so I want to make sure that we give ourselves the space to work on that and make it a priority for ourselves, because I think it'll make our lives so much richer.
We find ourselves in situations where we're not kind or we're not patient, or we could have done things better. And so of course we can always throw up excuses where we're tired from work, we didn't have time. There's always excuses. But at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that we have a more positive outlook on things. We don't want to default to the negative. We want to have a brighter and better outlook on day-to-day life. I'm sure everyone's felt this, but there's some days where you just wake up and you just don't feel good. And we want to fix that. We want to actively try to make decisions that give us a better outlook on life. And so far, this has done wonders. We obviously have those days where we just don't want to get out of bed, but a lot of other times we do, and we just can't wait to rush out here and just further this project and just get out on the road and see how far this can take us.
We made it to the overlook.
It's the hottest part of the day. It's 2:30.
Yep.
But it's well worth it.
And we have it to ourselves because this is the worst time to be here.
Yep.
Stay on the bright side.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a decent hike.
Yeah.
Pretty steep, lots of horses.
Yeah. I did notice a lot of burnt trees up here. Brian's done these hikes before, so Brian, what's the story behind the burnt trees?
Well, I don't know exactly what the burnt trees are about, but last time I was up here, I guess it's like an underbrush burn or something. They kind of burn out everything underground and make sure there's not a worse forest fire later or something.
Makes sense to me. I just don't know how they evict all the squirrels beforehand.
They get a little like air horn or something.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, on the bright side, it makes the clearing a lot, easier to see through.
That's true.
There are a lot of small reasons why we wanted to move into a bus and just take some time to travel. But what it really boils down to is we just really want to feel like we have freedom. We want to take charge of where we're going, what we're doing, what our schedule is like, and just kind of see where that takes us. And we don't really have an exit strategy with the bus. We don't know, we might live in here till we're 90. We might live in here 2 years, decide this sucks, and move on to whatever we'd like. But right now, we are all in. This is what we want to do. And it's just so nice to be able to have the freedom to follow that and pursue that goal.
It's so refreshing to actually be able to come across and make decisions without outside influence. It's the freedom of choosing what we want to do, not just on a day-to-day level, but in terms of what our life goals are. In the end, not much is going to change around here. We're still going to be working on our projects and sharing everything with you guys along the way. I think we're just going to focus more on why we're doing this rather than the how.
It is a lot of fun to have you guys along with us for the ride, and we want to make sure that we stay focused on why we're doing this.
As part of our journey to recenter ourselves, one thing we are going to do is lock down a schedule. We're going to start putting out videos once a week, Monday at 2 p.m. In the past, we've usually tried to get out 2 a week, but sometimes we fall short. So now we're going to set a more rigid schedule once a week, every Monday. And we hope you guys subscribe and follow along for this journey. Again, we're super excited to share it with you guys. We love seeing everyone's excitement.
Definitely. And that's not to say that we won't ever put out a second video in a week. If we have something to share, or we just feel like it, or we might put out a second surprise video, but we're gonna go ahead and just, for our own sanity, say we're gonna give you guys one video a week, no matter what. Thank you guys so much for watching and following along, and if you made it this far, I would love to hear your thoughts on if this is something that you can relate to, if any of these points resonate with you, because we're kind of recentering right now, and we would encourage you guys to take some time to do the same if you have the capacity for it. We think it really is going to help us out going forward and help us get the most out of this experience and make sure that we're being kind to ourselves in the process.
Once again, we just want to thank everyone for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.